Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for joining me. I am Lindsey Marie Silver and I'm based here in Edinburgh, Scotland. And today I'm going to be sharing with you an absolutely gorgeous stretch routine. It's something that you can really enjoy unwinding with. It's going to be deeply relaxing and also very restorative for each of your muscles. Maybe you have tension throughout your body that you'd like to really release. But it's also going to be really rejuvenating on a really deep level. I'm going to give you lots of different options throughout as we go. And you can choose the level option that works best for you. And so we are live right now. Excuse me, struggling with the focus there. I think we're good now though. And so, yeah, it's going to be up to you to decide what level you would like to take these stretches to. If you're just warming up for your day, go with the smallest movement pattern possible, and then you can really ease yourself into the stretch from there. So go with a small expression of the movement first of all, and then build it outwards from there. So this is going to be about a 20-minute session today, and I hope you enjoy it. Feel free to leave me lots of comments, let me know what your favorite stretch is, and if you've got any questions, and I'll dive in at the end and answer those for you. Again, thank you for joining me. Let me reset the focus over towards the mat for you. And so, coming into your space, and maybe you have a mat, or perhaps not. You might want to have handy a cushion that you can place underneath your hips or underneath your knees at some point. I'll let you decide on that. So let's start standing. Let's spread out through the toes. We're going to lift the toes up, place down your big toes, the next set of toes, and all the way out towards your little toes. And then round the outside of your foot, let that connect with the mat, and then your heels through your arches. Let's lift a little bit through the arches, relax through your ankles. So we're active through the feet. We're going to relax the ankles and the low legs, relax your calves. We tend to hold lots of tension through the calves without even really being aware of it. Let's bend through the knees. Keep them soft and fluid in our movement throughout. Sweep that relaxation up through those long muscles of upper legs, into your hips. Let's guide the hips gently into neutral position. Don't try to force that, and don't try to change your natural posture at this point. Just gently guide your hips into neutral and activate through those pelvic floor muscles. So the muscles that are sort of this hammock shape all the way through the underside of your body. And from there, with that light activation through there, let's come upwards through the spine. Let's bring alignment through the spine, all the way through the crown of the head, up towards the sky. Feel alignment coming in through your chin, relax through your jaw. The shoulder blades, let's bring them round your back and slide them down. So you can really begin to open up through the chest. Gorgeous. And enjoy that position, the simplicity of this present moment. As you take a deep, nourishing breath in, allow your belly to expand with the breath and the chest. Lift the collarbones. And as you breathe out, just feel those areas gently return. See if you can exhale fully. Let's take 3 deep cleansing breaths like that. Take a deep breath in. And perhaps you could raise your hands up to the sky as you suspend the breath and stretch out through your spine. And then in your own time, perhaps we could bend through the knees and extend forwards out through the hips to release the breath. Ready for another? Let's try. Deep breath in as you come up 1 vertebrae at a time, upwards towards the sky. Suspend the breath as you lengthen through back, waist, belly, naturally through each individual vertebrae. And then bending through your knees, we can pivot out through the hips and just release that. That's a really gorgeous release for your back and your neck, your shoulders. Taking a deep breath here. And it's also wonderful to feel that increased oxygen flow to the brain, isn't it? And hold that there, suspend the breath. Of course, you could do just the breathing technique or just the movement. And release. And from here, in this forward fold position with a light bend through your knees, we can begin to just come around to one side and out to the other as you gently sweep your body through to the outside of your feet, aiming round towards the heels, and your hips are coming out to the alternating side. You can bend through your knee as you do that. So as your hip comes out one side, bend through that knee. And let that be the opener towards this movement. If you would like to, we can begin to bring the hips steady in its center and twist out lightly through the waist. So the hips are now stationary in alignment, or relatively stationary, in alignment with the knees and feet. And we're just gently releasing through long muscles of back and waist. And activating through abdominals. Relax through your neck and shoulders. Here you can place perhaps a deeper bend through your knees and bring the hands down to the ground. You can extend slightly further through the back of your legs if you like. Relax through your neck. And here we're going to bend through one knee and then through the other. We're really just warming up through these muscles at the moment. Or if you already have followed along with one of the classes on one of our playlists on the channel, perhaps you could take these stretches a little bit deeper. Feel for the outer edges of your range of motion. Gently coming back into center now. Take a deep breath here. And as you unwind, take your time as you gently begin to unfold back to standing position, all the way upwards to standing. You probably feel just from those simple movements, you feel so much more into your body. You feel grounded. You're aware of your feet. Doesn't that feel really good, just to come down into body? And so now we're going to do, we had a little look at a muscle known as the psoas, muscle of the soul. And so I thought it'd be really nice to just encourage the integration and the continuation of that stretch. So we're going to bring one foot outwards in alignment with the long edge of the mat, toes pointing towards the short edge if you're using a mat, that is. With the other leg, we're going to step it right back. Here you can take your hands out to the side in this lateral raise if it helps you to balance. Here you can begin to place your heel down towards the ground and pick up this deep lunge through the front leg. Now your hips are in neutral, so they're not hyperextended through the back. You want to keep the hips tucked under. And if you have tension through your hip flexor, as for myself, I can feel that I do have some today that I'd like to release out. Just being aware of bringing the hips into neutral, that alignment through the full length of spine. Breathing into that area at the front of the hip and using your pelvic floor muscles to bring the hips neutral. And from here, with that deep lunge through that front knee, you want to have about 90-degree angle through that front leg, no more than that. You could have less, but keep the knees behind the toes and that'll protect your knee joint. And from here, if it's accessible to you, or you could stay here and take a deep breath and find a little pocket of space to move into. If it's accessible to you, you can place your knee down. You might want to place something underneath there, as we said, a cushion, a rolled up blanket, or even just a sweater. You could take that foot further away if you want a really deep stretch here. Make sure that you're in alignment. You can bring the hands out towards the side. And again, try keep the hips neutral. So your body's always going to want to try and avoid the stretch to a certain extent. It's always going to look for the easiest, most ballpark route for doing something. It might use other muscles rather than the target muscle to produce a very similar movement, because the brain and the body are very clever that way, and they can give you something that is very, very close to what your aim is without actually creating change within the body. It's a natural inbuilt safety mechanism, I suppose. Let's bring the hands down here. If you'd like a deeper stretch, you can bring your hands towards one side down onto the mat and bring awareness towards the alignment of your hips. Neither one is leading. So with good quality breath and relaxation, we can really encourage the body, and we can reassure the body that sometimes change is very healthy. Everything in life is always changing. Everything in nature is always changing. And if we are able to effect that change, to guide that change, feel empowered within that change, its positivity and growth potential are huge. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, let's slide the hips back as you extend through that front leg. Walk your hands back through here. You can place one hand over the other side again. Bring the toes in towards you if you like. Try keep a nice straight back here. And what we're going to do is release through the back of this leg. I can feel I have some tension through hamstrings today and also through hip flexors. So really feeling the benefit of that stretch, and I'm sure you will be as well. Breathing into that long release through the back of the leg, all the way down through hamstrings and into the calf. Deep breath here. And as you breathe out, gently ease your hips forwards, return your foot to the ground. Bring both hands over one side, and we can just take this leg back to meet the other. Here, let's just take a little moment to reset through the back, waist and belly. Deep breath in. And breathing out, let's lift upwards towards the sky. Just rounding out through the back there. Relax your head, drop your head down, drop the tailbone. And then in reverse, lifting the crown of the head and the tailbone. Meow. Meow. Going back into center. I feel like Ballistic, cat goddess, has been with me in the last few days in my playfulness. We can bring the other foot forwards. We're going to pick up that deep lunge position, come upwards, and take that foot further away. If you need a deeper stretch, again, utilize those pelvic floor muscles. Keep The hips in neutral. Good. Well done. Nice and steady. Relax your shoulders here. Keep the chest open and bright. And enjoy these moments, this time for you to unwind, to come back into your body, to enjoy, to enjoy. Interesting how the clues are there, hidden sometimes in plain sight. Enjoy. Always feel so joyful whenever we begin to move. Here, if you feel able to and you want to, as you breathe out, you can bring both hands over one side. And with both hands on the inside of that leg, making sure the hips remain level, releasing through. And enjoying that release. Perhaps you feel a pocket of space opening up. A deeper level option for you here, if you would like it, would be to gradually descend down beyond this point, to bring your forearms down towards the mat. For me today, this is perhaps slightly deep of a position, so I'm going to stay where I am, but you could come down onto your forearms and rest down there. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, we can slide the hips back. And you can bring that foot closer towards you, bringing the toes in towards your chest. Extending through the full length of the back of that leg. Try and keep your spine nice and straight. When we're not rounding out through the back, try keep the chest open. Try and lead the stretch with the rib cage as well. And from here, take a deep breath in. You can bring both hands over one side. As you breathe out, gently return the toes to the ground. Bring this leg back in. Here, we're going to bring the toes together and take the knees real wide. This is a gorgeous release for your hips. You can bring the hands out in front of us. And just allowing gravity and your own body weight and your own breath and each moment to open up through the hips all the more. Sinking down. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, let's gently unwind, coming up towards a seated position there. And from here, we're going to rotate round down onto the mat. You can bring your heels close up towards your glutes. And the knees are up towards the sky. You're going to walk your fingers down towards your toes. So you can just hold on to your heels there. And relaxing through the shoulders. We're going to utilize the and lengthening out through one leg. Bringing the toes in towards you here. And then lifting up through the knee. We can just gently circle around, and in that circular motion, opening up all the more through the hips. And bringing that leg towards a 90-degree angle, bringing both hands out to the side. We're going to bring this leg over towards one side. You can use this hand to press down on this knee, and you can gaze over the other hand, lengthening out through the back, out through the outer thigh and glute, through the shoulder. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, coming all the way back round. On the other side, lifting that leg up about 90 degrees, and we're going to bring it over towards one side. You can use the opposite hand, and you can bring your gaze over the top of your fingers there. Ah, that feels so gorgeous. That deep releasing stretch. Taking some deep breaths. On your next outward breath, you can gently return that leg. Slide it all the way out. Bring the toes in towards you and release that. Bring your hands down by your side. Walk your fingers down towards your toes and allow your shoulder blades to come down with that. And let's rotate the palms up to the sky. You can bring your chin down towards your chest. And then release that. Bring the head across towards one side. Back to center. Out through the other side. And back into center. And in at center. Enjoying 3 deeply relaxing and cleansing breaths. Are you ready? Good. Breathing in. Feel the belly rise up to the sky and the chest and collarbones. And as you breathe out, relaxing down deep. Breathing in nourishment. Suspend the breath. Allow your body to absorb all of the goodness of that breath. And then release that. And last breath here, cleansing and relaxing as you breathe in deep nourishment. Suspend the breath. And as you breathe out, breathing out into inner stillness, deeper connection with your body, feeling relaxed and soothed, having given yourself deep care and this time to replenish. You can take your far away leg, bring the knee up towards the sky, and the far away arm, cross it over your chest. You're going to push off with that foot and use that hand to gently guide you back upwards towards a seated position. Coming into a comfortable seat, sitting up high on hip bones with renewed alignment throughout every single vertebrae. Notice the way your energy feels so much more integrated. Your body, your mind, and your soul connected as one, equal sides of pyramid. Yay! Take your time. You might want to get yourself lots of hydration. I always like to follow what nature is doing as well. And here in Scotland, it is extremely rainy right now. We're having a storm, and that's kept me very, very busy here. We sprung a second leak, so I've been busy with that. I think that's in focus. Thank you so much for joining me for this gorgeous, gorgeous stretch class. And there are lots of others. We now have a playlist there. You can dive in. You could skip to certain parts that you enjoy, or you could do the entire series to go a bit deeper and deepen and lengthen, really lengthen, and increase your flexibility. If you've got any questions, like I say, feel free to leave me a comment down below and I'll dive in and answer those. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, that really helps us to reach even more people. So please do go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit that little notification bell as well, and that'll let you know when we go live next. And I'll see you soon. Goodbye.